Oh man, the one thing I miss most about working in the game industry was to be able to go to the office every day and appreciate the geekdom around me. It was like walking into, honestly, gamer paradise. There's something about gaming offices that are always designed in a way that just feel like they're a lot of fun. Well, not every office, now that I think about it. I remember when I used to work for Konami, and every time I went to the Konami office in Japan, that always felt like a grind. Their office was so sparse, there's nothing in it. Honestly, you would not even know that it was a gaming office, except for maybe its reception area. It almost felt like it was a quarantine hospital feel, which is funny because in comparison, our office in the United States, and this was when I was working for Hudson Entertainment, which was a subsidiary of Konami at the time, our offices were amazing. There was all sorts of cool collectibles everywhere. My office, which was a corner office, had a beautiful view to the waterfront. This is a new building that we moved into in Redwood Shores. And I had collected a ton of Hudson stuff over the years from their original games and a bunch of other stuff that I worked on. So my whole office was just a mini shrine to everything that I've worked on and all the things that I loved. It was just so much fun and I loved it. Loved it, loved it, loved it. That's the one thing I really miss about the gaming industry. That being said, I'm glad I'm out and I'm glad I get to appreciate games that other developers now get to create. In the meantime, let's check out CD Projekt Red's office tour here. They are the ones that have been working on Cyberpunk 2077. Let's do this. And away we go.
Hey V, you all right?
Let's do this.
You won't give out with this shit.
Man, you can actually feel how cold it is. So well rendered.
And welcome to CD Projekt Red. I've got a bit of a studio tour planned for you, and I'll even be having a chat to some of my very favourite developers. So get out of the cold and come inside.
Whoa, look at that gun rack wall, man.
Now, if you've ever seen inside our studio before, we were very Witcher based, and we have a lot of our covers. You can see Geralt, and you can even see just some of the awards the studio has picked up over the years.
Such a great game. God, I loved it.
Of course, we
Loved
have
it.
a new game coming out. We are working on Cyberpunk 2077. So we're just starting our Cyberpunk wall. Hopefully a couple more covers to come. So you've got your passes. I think it's time to get inside the building and really show you around. Follow me.
Open floor plan.
So if we come this way,
Warehouses sort of feel.
our social space. So this is where people can come to relax.
Very
We've
modern,
also got
very
some
cool.
different canteens in here as well, where you can have your lunch. If you look here, this palm tree, this was actually at our Gamescom show floor booth, and we actually brought it back on a truck, and now it lives here. It just lives in the social space. Maybe coconuts one day.
Gwent hallway, I guess?
Apparently, I don't know if it's true, but we've had this suit of armour since The Witcher 2, but it now takes residence in the Gwent team. I think I know exactly where we need to go on our next stop. Come on in.
Cool setup. Oh my God. If I worked on music, having that set up there like that. Oh. It feels like you're guiding the Starship Enterprise on your own. You know what I'm saying? Ooh, you may want to turn that down a little bit.
Hello, my name is Marcin Przybyłowicz. I'm a music director and composer here at CD Projekt Red. As you can see, I'm working on the music for Cyberpunk 2077 and specifically pretty intense narrative track for part of the game I can't tell you about because no spoilers. You're gonna have to wait and see. But I promise you it's gonna be.
You know what's happening every time they do these kind of tours is hardcore gamers are trying to like pause it, zoom in, see if they kind of piece together some behind the scenes stuff that could, you know, give away a spoiler or two. That's one reason why it's always really, really tricky to do these kind of office tours, and why even when I was at Hudson, what we would do is create a separate room where we do a lot of game demos, but really wouldn't allow people film just walking around other developers.
Nice to see you. So my name is Paweł Sasko. I'm a lead of the Quest team, and we're working on Cyberpunk 2077. And in this beautiful space, we have a Quest team sitting there in the corner. We're building all the quests for you, and our cinematic team. They are making sure that all the scenes are kicking ass, and our cinematic animators who are making sure that all those animations are beautiful, perfectly done, and there's no twitching on any of the fingers. And I hope you will be playing the game at 16th of April 2020.
All right, I'm calling it now. This game will be delayed. I know it will be delayed.
Our level designers work in this area, and I have the perfect person for you to have a quick chat with. Come with me.
Hey, I'm Miles Toast. I'm one of the level designers working on Cyberpunk 2077, and you can't see it, but currently I'm working on refining some of the encounters that we have in our game. Because in Cyberpunk, you'll of course be facing lots of situations where you have to tackle enemies in many, many different ways, and I'm trying to make sure that you can use all the tools that we give you in a way that allows you to really shine. For example, right now I'm placing lots of devices, you know, that you can hack. I'm making sure that enemies have patrols in a way that you can sort of find your timing window and take them out in a cool way, and many, many more things. And I hope you'll be as excited as I am to work on this when you can finally play the game.
We come down here, hopefully my special guest will be able to meet you. Now, a lot of the level team are working here. We also have a few others. The teams move around a lot as the studio has been growing with the course of Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I get the feeling that this is either a new office or there's a lot of new people that were hired, because it's a little too clean. And I don't mean clean in the sense like they cleaned up for people to visit, but usually if you've been in an office for a long time, there's a lot of collectibles and everything everywhere. There's a lot of interesting little design habits that people have to kind of create their own space. Like, it hasn't materialized yet here.
Hey, are you gonna be a superstar? Are you a cyberpunk dog?
It's cool that they allow dogs in the office. That dude is so cute.
So of course we do have lots of creative people working here, and they love to make models. So here are some of the final ones, which some of you will know are available, but also some things that, you know, a bit work in progress. Anybody who has the Cyberpunk Collector's Edition on pre-order? Well, you might remember this. It's one of the very early mock-ups of what was going to be included in the box. One more of the development room, so we're going to try and be a little bit quiet, not to disturb them. Come with me.
God, that wall looks so cool.
Now, while these aren't technically weapons from the game, they are here to help the team when they're designing.
She sure seems like she knows how to handle a gun there. Did she just do that to show off? Like, you know.
Well, that is it for our our little tour of the studio. I hope you've had an enjoyable time having a look inside what we do here at CD Projekt Red, and of course chatting to some of our wonderful developers as well. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. Everybody here at CD Projekt Red is incredibly grateful for all your ongoing support, and we cannot wait for you to enjoy Cyberpunk 2077 when it launches April 16, 2020.
Woo! I can't wait for this game. My goodness. All right, so that was a lot of fun. What's interesting is that the office, even though it's very well designed, beautifully architected, it doesn't exactly have a lot of flavor that would make it feel like this is a CD Projekt Red office. I've been to a couple of game studios where the minute you walk in, you instantly feel like, wow, this is Zynga's office, or this is Disney's office. They do a lot to try to create that thematic feel that goes through everything. You know, piggybacking off what she said, their team has grown so fast, this office might be pretty new as well. And so they just haven't had a chance to settle into everything yet. So this is on Games Radar's website, which makes me wonder how much more footage they actually captured that they didn't show, because there's so much stuff that goes on in development that you don't want the outside world to see while it's going on, that I wonder if Games Radar had to run this version by CD Projekt Red just to make sure they'd include anything that they didn't want the outside world to see. In other words, just a little, precautionary measure. Because it's so easy to swing by and take a look at someone's screen and get a sense of like, well, here's an entire quest line, or here's a reveal of a boss type of thing. Office style-wise, it actually reminds me a lot of when I used to work at THQ in their offices. They actually had a pretty new office back when I was working with them. That they moved to in Agora Hills, and the lobby area, had a huge statue. I think at the time it was for Warhammer, because that was one of the franchises that they had. They had their ward wall as well, a lot of different kiosks, a lot of magazine covers from when their games were being featured. And as you walk around, each section of the office is dedicated to each different department, with department heads oftentimes having their own offices. And those are the ones that are usually decked to the ceiling with all sorts of interesting gear and equipment and whatnot. I don't know if this is still possible, but I remember about a year or two ago, I went by their office, which is abandoned now because THQ went bankrupt, and no one had moved into that building yet. And it was just abandoned. I think I still have some video footage of that, and I might see if I can try to find it and post it up. But I could actually walk through and see like everything that they left behind. Some of the doors were locked, so you couldn't go back into the main building. But even the main lobby area, there was a lot of like trinkets and collectibles, and even some like old awards and stuff like that that were just left about. If you really want to just like rip things off the wall, you could take it. And in fact, the THQ sign outside the front door was still there. So looked like the bankruptcy hit pretty hard and hit pretty fast for them to just move out and not give a whit. All right, that was cool. Hey, if you want me to react to more studio tours like this, let me know, and be happy to do it. It's fun for me because, like I said, it gives me a chance to reminisce about the days when I used to work in the industry. All right, y'all. Peace out.